Assalamu alaikum, welcome to my channel. I hope everybody will be fine and doing great. In this lecture we will be discussing about why we will design any structure. Without design, can we construct any structure? Obviously we can construct, but it may fail suddenly, or serviceability criteria does not fulfill. So after this lecture we will be discussing the design philosophies, that why we will using the design philosophies that were the allowable stress method, working stress method, also called working stress method, limit stress method, LRFD design method, also called plastic design method. We will be discussing design philosophies, but before discussing the design philosophies, we will understand why we will design any structure. So for designing structure, it should be safe against collapse and serviceability. So the structure should not be collapse. If it collapses, then it should not be collapsed suddenly. It collapse unexpectedly. It should not be collapsed unexpectedly. It should provide sufficient cracks or deformation that the resident or any other may leave the structure or building, so to minimize any loss. And serviceability comes that the crack and vibration should be in tolerable limit. If for occupant use, it should not be cross the limit that occupant may not to be use the structure, and the structure should be served for the purpose it was designed. So we will be discussing these before design philosophies. So these for any structure, it as we are constructing to serve the purpose for it was designed, it should not be collapse suddenly and does not appear different cracks for the occupants that are the dangerous. So we are considering two criteria. Number one is collapse and number two is serviceability. Without designing, these are the major concern, that collapse may be sudden and different serviceability cracks, vibration are occur that are crossing the tolerable limit. For designing any structure, we are using different types of codes. So what is code? Codes are the technical specification and standards that control the important detail of the design and construction. Which control the important details are include the section properties, modulus of elasticity of different members, or steel or materials. So these are the technical specification and standards which control the important detail of design and construction. In construction, it maintains the material properties, different properties, mixing properties. It includes the mixed design of the material in construction. And design, it includes the section property, modulus of elasticity, section modulus, etc. So these are the technical specification and standards. The purpose of the code is to produce safe and sound structure. I told about the structure should be safe against collapse and serviceability. So the purpose of the code is to produce safe and sound structure. So it should be economical too. Remember this. Adding economy is also comes in codes. So there are different types of codes. Codes are generally produced by different researchers, specialists. Different types of codes are building structural codes, that are the international codes, building codes that are the country level codes or province level codes, regional codes, and bylaws. These are the regulatory body which governs, which amplifies the building codes. These are the building control regulations. These are the different three types of codes. So the first type of a code is structural code. Structural code is originated and controlled by different specialists internationally. These are the international codes. It mainly depends on geometry. It tells about the geometry and material of the infrastructure. Also the it depends on the geometry. If I keep the beam size and material property, then it depends on this. Also, it is telling about the geometry of the member in a building or any structure, and material property of a steel in steel structure, and concrete property in RCC or concrete structure, concrete buildings. So the structure is any assembly that support load. So a structure can be made of concrete or steel. So these are the international codes. These are general codes, also called international codes. These codes are the ACI code, American Concrete Institute code; AISC code, American Institute of Steel Construction code; AASHTO code, American Association of Steel State Highway and Transportation Official code. ACI used for the concrete, and AISC code used for the steel structure, and AASHTO codes are used for the highways, etc. So these all codes are in structural codes. The second type of a code is a building code, that it incorporates the local environmental condition of the location. In different location, the topography and geography changes. So amplifying the local environmental condition in a code, we are using a building code. Why it necessary? Because the local regional condition of geography, topography changes. Example is the strata, hard rock, different strata changes, the seismic condition, region, location, zones are changes. So we are amplifying these local environmental condition. We are using the building code while designing any structure. So it is established by the local location, country or region wise. These are not the international code. These are the local or country level codes or province level codes. These are very necessary while designing any structure in a specific location. These include the Uniform Building Code in Pakistan and Pakistan Building Code, which encounter the seismic analysis and loads, etc., and literal loads, snow loads, environmental condition, etc. Number third type of the code is building control regulation or bylaws. These are normally regulatory bodies that implementing the building codes in a designing or in a structure. So while designing a structure, we will design by using the international or general code, then also implementing the building codes in this. When someone does not implementing the building code, then these regulatory bodies take any action against the any engineer or which are not using the building codes. So these are the regulatory bodies in Pakistan. They were the Sindh Building Control Authority, CDA Capital Development Authority, QDA, LDA Lahore Development Authority. These are the regulatory body that implementing the building codes in a design. So for design philosophy, we should understand the three terms: serviceability, strength, and structural safety. Serviceability means that the deflection adequately small, cracks if any kept in tolerable limit. If cracks occurs, then it should not cross the tolerable limits. Vibration should be minimized. These terms are in serviceability, that the structure should serve the purpose for it was designed. It comes in serviceability. Minimum cracks occurs, vibration should be minimized. These all occurs in serviceability. Serviceability means these terms, remember this. And number second is strength. Any structural system should provide sufficient strength against all types of load effects. That includes the axial stresses, axial forces, moments, different types of moments in 3D, in 1D, so in 2D, different types of moments axial stresses, compressive stresses, and bending shear stresses. So it should provide the sufficient resistance against the load effect from the service load, applying the factor of safety by covering the uncertainties. So there may be chances of uncertainty. The load may occur differently as we design for different. In actual the load occur more. So by covering this in factor of safety, so this is the strength, that the structure should provide sufficient strength. And number third is the structural safety. The structure should be safe against collapse and serviceability, but if any failure occur, then it shall not be sudden unexpected collapse. Remember, this is the main point while designing any structure, and the main difference between the designing a structure and not designing any structure. This is the main difference between both of them. So while designing a structure, it should be safe. If in case any failure occurs, then it shall not be sudden and unexpected. The failure, if failure occurs, then it should provide the sufficient tolerable cracks that the occupants or different others object may be leave without any collapse, without any loss. So these were the introductory part of the before design philosophies. So next lecture we will be discussing about the working stress design method, LRFD design method, plastic design method. So these were the today's topic about the codes, different types of code, why we design any structure. So take care of yourself. Hope you understand completely. Allah Hafiz.